Welcome back to Dreams, Passion, Your Hong Kong Story. Today we have with us a very inspirational woman entrepreneur from Hong Kong. Let's meet Dr. Christina Dean, who's one of the biggest advocate of sustainable fashion in Hong Kong. Hello, Christina, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. Well, that's lovely to be here. Thank you for having me.
She's the founder and CEO of our collective and award-winning social impact business, rescuing, reusing, and recycling fashion waste. She's also the founder and chair of an executive director of Redress. This is an environmental charity with a mission to prevent and transform textile waste to catalyze a circulatory economy and reduce fashion's water, chemical, and carbon footprints. She's also the executive producer and co-host of Frontline Fashion, which is an award-winning documentary series following talented, emerging, sustainable fashion designers. Wow, Christina, you are a multifaceted personality involved in so many dimensions of the fashion world. I would like to begin the whole thing by asking you, where are you originally from? And tell our audience a little bit about your growing up days.
Okay, thank you. Well, I was raised in South Africa, in Johannesburg, for my early years. My family lived there for 20 years, and I'm the youngest of four. And so I only spent 5-6 years there, but those early years were out, in the sort of wild bush of South Africa and Southern Africa with, red mud and mud always in between my teeth and my toes. And I then moved back to the UK with my family, obviously a young child, and grew up in looking back, in a very, idyllic. I was very lucky, actually. I was very blessed with a fantastic upbringing, very peaceful in the countryside of the UK, still with mud between my toes and hopefully not in my teeth. And I then went to a Rudolf Steiner school, which is quite a quirky kind of a school, quirky educational system. It's very much whole child, very slow, non-academic. It's a surprise I can barely spell, actually. And then I went to university and I studied. I've been to university a few times, actually. And then ultimately I ended up getting married, moved to Hong Kong, and I stayed in Hong Kong for, 13 years non-stop, and then now I'm a little bit, based between multiple places now.
So you said that you went to universities multiple times. Why did you go to universities multiple times? What did you do?
Well, I went to university a few times because I kept probably choosing the wrong courses or the right courses. So essentially, I am a qualified dentist. So that was my first undergraduate training. So I spent 5 years training to be a dentist, and I worked as a dentist for a couple of years, which was a great experience. And I'm very humbled by all medical dental professionals who really work to serve, one hopes, the needs of others. And it's a great, great job. However, I personally hated it. And so I then retrained as a journalist. That was my second university experience. I did periodical journalism, and I've discovered in my life that I'm a very curious person. I give me a job. I like doing stuff. I'm very sort of eager, possibly highly annoying, in specifically working with private sector and fashion businesses and fashion brands who essentially have varying amounts of excess materials in a perpetually complicated business. And Redress, as a sort of registered charity with a very sort of educational, societal benefit, is not best equipped to work with big business on what is basically a business problem and a business challenge. So that's essentially why I started the R Collective. So it works with business only. And that also led me back to university, to INSEAD. I did a social entrepreneurship course. I think there's another university experience coming up. And so, I started that business. Essentially, what really happened with the dawning was that many luxury businesses and premium luxury, and not so much fast fashion, but businesses were offering up their excess materials to Redress as a charity. But the material volumes are enormous and so complex to handle. It's not something that a small charitable organization can perpetually deal with. And so that's why I started the Art Collective.
Okay. So Redress would just donate the clothes, or would Redress also resell?
So Redress collects post-consumer clothing, donations, and unwanted clothes. So in Hong Kong, Redress has many containers dotted around malls and in stores and in various schools at times, and in sort of multiple, most accessible locations as possible. And so through the take-back program that Redress has, we collect unwanted clothes and then sort, and then a percentage of those will be resold in Redress's charity shops and in Redress's various pop-up shops. Okay. So that's a percentage of the total that we collect. And then we have a very passionate and accurate sorting system and redistribution system for the clothes that we, for example, can't sell, in order that we provide a circular solution for clothes within Hong Kong as much as we possibly can.
So you also provide to the homeless community? Do you give them some of the clothes?
So Redress has multiple other charity partners that serve a diverse group of Hong Kong's beneficiaries, be they homeless, specifically to your question, and even animal. So we have different charities that will deal, for example, with women and their children, migrant men, for example, homeless groups. I need to look at the most accurate list of beneficiaries to specifically answer that question. But the reason why Redress has so many other charity beneficiary partners is because we certainly can't distribute to everybody exactly what they need when there are other charities who know what their beneficiary needs. Exactly. So we have partnerships in place to support.
They collect from Redress and then they distribute it further.
Exactly. They say what they need.
Okay.
At the time of year that they need it to solve to support and solve the problem for their end beneficiary.
Okay. Yeah. So for your Art Collective business, like, how do you get your, how do you decide where you're going to go, who you're going to approach, and then how do you sell? Do you have stores in Hong Kong for Art Collective?
Yeah, so the Art Collective, we work with a number of luxury brands on their waste materials. So we're in a sort of long-term partnership with luxury brands. And so the way that it works is that only when they have identified materials that they can't use, don't need, and that is complicated, but basically we're at the end of their system of reuse. So by the time it comes to us, it's unwanted for multiple reasons and some very complicated reasons. And so we then look to how are we going to redesign into it, recycle it, what can we do to keep these materials in use? And so there's no clear answer, because all materials are different and their locations are different. Which country is it in? How much of it is it? Is it printed? Is it not printed? What can be made from it? So sorry, there's not a clear answer, but to clearly summarize, we take in materials in partnership with our luxury brands and ad hoc, where businesses just say, we've got this, can you take it? Take it. And then we design into products that are B2B products. So we make corporate gifts for big banks around the world, totes, pouches, leather goods, etc. And then we also make recycled materials for our luxury brand partners. Very complicated.
No, and then you distribute all this in Hong Kong or even outside Hong Kong?
No, it's in Hong Kong and rest of the world.
Okay. So you must be having offices or collaborations with other companies, joint ventures?
Yeah. We have lots. We don't have joint ventures at a business level, but we have many partnerships for sure, because, we hate waste, but it exists even in the best, leanest, bestest companies. Fashion waste exists for many reasons. And it's essentially because fashion is constantly changing. There's always new production. And with production, you always get waste. And then there is always unsold goods, and there's always extra fabrics and materials and trims and bits and bobs. And even that's only a good, well-run business. And then if you think about a poorly run business, and I hate to say that because none of our business partners are fashion business partnerships have any bad management, but you also will find that there is misbuying, there's mismanagement, misforecasting. Obviously COVID is a prime example of a complete breakdown in a supply chain, from a value chain. Consumers suddenly just stop buying clothes. And so you basically get this massive hangover about consumers' behavior, but the hangover is always waste.
I see.
And the waste gets locked and stuck in different places of the supply chain. And so therefore we don't have multiple offices, no, but we have multiple partnerships in different countries so that we can respond to the waste in that country. Mm-hmm. So it's not, it sounds so easy. Oh, we're just going to go and get waste from the fashion industry. Well, it's very, very easy because there's waste everywhere, but it's very difficult to actually
analyze, I guess.
It's very difficult to strategically long-term find a system that's win-win-win-win-win-win-win for everyone. It's absolutely possible, but it's not as easy as it sounds.
In a place like Hong Kong, do you have enough consumers who are willing to buy products from, these kind of companies which are there for sustainable environmental, fashion? So, because I'm sure there are other companies also like Redress or Our Collective that's coming up in Hong Kong. So what is the future of an entrepreneur in Hong Kong who's looking to come up with similar business ideas like yours?
Okay, first things, in terms of secondhand clothing, there's a huge market for it. I don't know what the market is in terms of data, but I can say, because we've been selling secondhand clothes for, I'm going to say like 11 years, could be more, something like that. And we see a wider demographic of Hong Kong consumer coming to our stores and pop-up shops, not just in the day. Back in the day, it was, the expat, the typical kind of expat, but now it's everybody, young and old, local, expat, school kids, old grannies and grandpas, it's everybody. Now they're coming because they want cheap clothes.
Yeah.
That's fine. Cheap, good quality designer clothes if we have them. So, I mean, I'm butchering this because I'm just getting to the point.
Right.
Now, amongst our shoppers, of course, there are people that love the fact that it's secondhand. And they love the fact that they're enjoying clothes with a much lighter environmental impact. But essentially, when people go shopping, whether they're shopping in a luxury brand or in one of our secondhand charity shops, the main drivers are price and fit. Can I afford it? Is it cheap? Is it reasonable? And do I look good? And those are the biggest drivers. So the fact that we're secondhand is obviously wonderful because people can engage in a much more positive way. So obviously, I mean, I'm ridiculously pro secondhand clothes. I've only worn secondhand clothes for actually 10 years now. So yes. To answer your question, where it gets a lot muddier and a lot more complex to answer your question on whether or not Hong Kong consumers would support sort of environmentally friendly products, let's just say fashion products. The real problem in Hong Kong and the rest of the world is that I'm going like this, environmentally friendly, because how do you measure? What does that mean? But let's just say something more sustainable, less polluting, an environmentally friendly product. Let's just call it that. It's probably greenwashing, but I just want to give a term that people would understand. It's generally more expensive.
Let's see.
That's not rocket science. Why is it more expensive? Because there's better fabrics, better processes, maybe better working conditions. I don't know why, because there's multiple reasons. And on top of that, the price comparison is very low. Meaning, you're competing for a better product with a very cheap counterpart. So that makes it very, very difficult for sustainable fashion products to economically make sense, because you've got to sell a lot of them in order to break even, get a margin. So I'm saying that because I think sustainable fashion brands that are direct to consumer have I know so many incredible designers with incredible business plans and great access to market. It's still very, very challenging to really scale up that business. And that's really a reflection of the global fashion industry, not a reflection of sustainable fashion, really. What I mean by that is that 97% of the fashion industry's annual revenue is held by 20 groups and fashion businesses. So basically there are 20 companies and groups that own the fashion industry. So it's hard if you're a small business, basically trying to make money from consumers, from a consumer business. Yeah.
So you started a documentary, which is quite, a big award-winning documentary on sustainable fashion, and you're promoting all these designers and, especially who have a big orientation towards sustainable fashion. How did this meeting come about? Like, was this a part of your passion project, or is it a part of your ongoing business or an offshoot of some of your hobby? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we have to inspire consumers to really love fashion, get interested in it beyond the basic silhouette. Like, what can fashion do to change the world? And it can do so much. The beauty of the fashion industry, the power of the fashion industry is amazing. So we have to work with media to inspire a positive sense around fashion. Not, I don't like the, you shall not shop, you shall not, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad. No, 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 we don't like that. So Frontline Fashion and the documentary series that we created, it's about sparking and igniting a sort of love of fashion through the eyes of sustainable fashion designers. So what our experience has told us is that, and thank goodness for them, is that, you know, this next gen fashion designers are amazing. And in my head, I think of them as activists, because they're coming into an industry which is fraught with problems, but they are so passionate, they're so committed to different areas of sustainability. And it's like the biggest breath of fresh air, because this is next gen doing its best. And so Frontline Fashion is sharing their journey to a younger audience, so that the audience at home can see the beauty of fashion and the people behind it and the people who are making the change. And so it's a very sort of like human-led story, seen through the eyes of the designers, about the good stuff that they're doing. And what we want to do is wake the consumer up that clothes are about so much more than what they look like. It's about, as I said, I think, you know, clothes, if we do it right, the fashion industry can positively change the world. We're currently doing it wrong, which is why it's not. But it's possible that if we all woke up, we could make the fashion industry amazing.
Okay. So how has Hong Kong been for your professional and personal journey?
Well, Hong Kong, as it, you know, I landed in Hong Kong without any expectation, never thought I would get into this. And it's been the birthplace of my calling, my professional calling. I love what I do, and I would never ever have got into that had I not moved to Hong Kong. Okay. There's no chance I would have embarked on this ridiculous roller coaster, which every day I feel like I get on it and I'm still learning. Like, I know I've been doing the same thing for a long time. Nothing is ever the same, but I'm still learning every day more things. It's great.
So are you ready for a rapid fire question round?
As ready as I'll ever be.
As getting to know Christina's Hong Kong story in a bit more fun way. Okay, your favorite restaurant in Hong Kong?
Current favorite, Veggie Kingdom on Canton Road.
Your favorite thing to do in Hong Kong?
Hiking, hiking, hiking.
And your favorite hike? Most favorite?
Oh, impossible, impossible.
It's got to be one trail. That's more favorite.
Okay, I'd say hiking to Tai Lon Wan.
Oh, nice, nice. Okay, last time you did something for the first time in Hong Kong?
I'll say January, meandering leisurely through Sham Shui Po.
Your favorite cultural activity in Hong Kong?
Leisurely meandering through Sham Shui Po. You might wonder why that's cultural, but it's watching people going about their day is, for me, always very exciting.
What's your best way to relax in Hong Kong?
Definitely having a facial.
Okay. And where do you go for that?
Skin gym.
Right. Okay.
By the way, I need to come back because I said, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Our office is in Sham Shui Po, and I meant to say Sheung Wan, but Sham Shui Po came out. But I think it's okay. Don't worry.
It's all right. It's all right. Okay.
Yeah.
Your favorite products from any of your stores or pop-up stores that you have ever done in your business? Anything that you distinctly remember that you had super fun selling or procuring?
So for Redress, favorite favorite product. I mean, we sell so much secondhand clothes. They're all my favorites. It's like you can't choose a favorite child. I love them all. Favorite product from the R Collective probably is the collaboration that we did with Levi's.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you most proud of as a Hong Konger?
I'm very proud to be a Hong Konger who feels at home in Hong Kong as I do anywhere else in the world.
And what would you tell the global leaders and the policymakers? Why should they, why should they invest in Hong Kong?
Because Hong Kong has a can-do attitude and it's a fantastically supportive, empowering place to do business.
And what would you tell the people around the world? Why should they visit Hong Kong?
Because if you go to Hong Kong, you'll have a sort of electric charge of the possibilities of life, curiosity, business, fast-paced culture, and hiking. And it's a place that gets under your skin.
Thank you so much, Christina, for coming to our show. We wish you all the very best in all your future endeavors.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here. Thank you.